They thought I'd slink away in shame, fired without cause, my life in ruins. But I dug deeper, and what I found wasn't just the truth, it was a secret that could destroy them all. My name is Sarah Bennett, and I never thought I'd be the kind of person to take down a corporate empire. But life has a way of flipping the script when you least expect it. I was a senior analyst at Crestview Financial, a shiny corporate giant with glass offices and a reputation for excellence. For 6 years, I poured my heart into that job, late nights, skipped vacations, and endless spreadsheets. My boss, Michael Warwick, was the golden boy of the company, charming, polished, and untouchable. Everyone loved him. I respected him. I trusted him. That was my first mistake. One Tuesday morning, I walked into work like any other day, coffee in hand, ready to tackle a new project. But something felt off. My coworkers avoided eye contact, and the air buzzed with whispers. Before I could even log into my computer, HR called me into a sterile conference room. Michael was there, his face unreadable. "Sarah," the HR rep said, "we're terminating your employment, effective immediately." My stomach dropped. What? Why? They slid a vague termination letter across the table. "Performance issues," it read. Performance issues? Me? I'd just gotten a glowing review 3 months ago. I'd led a team that saved the company millions. I demanded answers, but Michael just stared at the floor, and HR ushered me out like I was a criminal. By noon, I was standing in the parking lot, my belongings in a cardboard box, my entire world shattered. The days that followed were a blur of anger and humiliation. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I kept replaying every moment of my time at Crestview, searching for what I'd done wrong. Nothing added up. My coworkers stopped answering my texts. My LinkedIn profile sat untouched, a glaring reminder of my sudden unemployment. I felt like I was drowning in questions with no answers. Then, one night, I got an email from an anonymous sender. The subject line read, *, "You didn't deserve this." My heart raced as I opened it. It was short, cryptic, *, "Check the Q4 financial reports. Look at the vendor payments. You'll see." Attached was a single PDF, a spreadsheet I'd never seen before, buried deep in Crestview's archives. I pored over the numbers. At first, it looked like routine vendor payments, but something was off. Payments to a company called BrightPath Solutions were massive, millions of dollars, funneled through dozens of small transactions. I'd never heard of BrightPath, and I'd worked on every major vendor contract. I dug deeper, cross-referencing dates and invoices. The more I looked, the more it felt like I'd stumbled onto something dangerous. I reached out to a former colleague, Jenna, who'd left Crestview a year earlier. Over coffee, I showed her the spreadsheet. Her face paled. "Sarah, you need to be careful," she whispered. "Michael's been acting strange for months. He's obsessed with controlling the financials. I heard rumors he's hiding something big." That's when it hit me. I wasn't fired for performance issues. I was fired because I was getting too close to something Michael didn't want me to see. I couldn't let it go. I spent weeks obsessing over the numbers, hacking together a timeline of every questionable transaction. BrightPath Solutions didn't exist, no website, no public records, just a P.O. box in Delaware. The payments started 2 years ago, right around the time Michael got promoted to VP of Finance. My gut told me this was bigger than a few shady invoices. This was embezzlement. But I needed proof, and I couldn't do it alone. That's when I got another anonymous email, *, "Meet me at the diner on 5th Street, 9 p.m. Come alone." My hand shook as I read it. Was this a trap? Or was it my only shot at answers? Against my better judgment, I went. The diner was nearly empty, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. A man in a hoodie sat in the corner booth, his face half hidden. He introduced himself as Ethan, a junior accountant at Crestview who'd been watching Michael for months. "I'm the one who sent you the spreadsheet," he said, his voice low. "Michael's stealing from the company, and he framed you to cover his tracks. Ethan explained everything. Michael had created BrightPath Solutions as a shell company, funneling company funds into his own accounts. When I started asking questions about budget discrepancies during a team meeting, Michael panicked. He fabricated complaints about my work, doctored performance reviews, and convinced HR to fire me before I could connect the dots. "Why me?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Because you're good," Ethan said. "Too good." He knew you'd figure it out eventually. Ethan had been collecting evidence but was too scared to act alone. He needed someone with my expertise, and my grudge. Together, we hatched a plan to expose Michael, but we had to move fast. Crestvew's annual audit was in 2 weeks, and Michael was already covering his tracks. For days, Ethan and I worked in secret, meeting in coffee shops and empty parking lots. He smuggled internal documents, while I analyzed them, piecing together a paper trail that linked Michael to BrightPath. The evidence was damning: forged invoices, fake vendor contracts, and bank records showing transfers to offshore accounts. But we needed a smoking gun, something undeniable that would hold up in court. Then Ethan found it, an email from Michael to a shady lawyer, outlining the entire scheme. It was buried in a deleted folder on Crestview servers, recoverable only because Ethan had access to the IT system. The email was a goldmine, detailing how Michael planned to siphon another $10 million before resigning and disappearing to a non-extradition country. But we weren't safe yet. Michael was paranoid, and Ethan noticed him watching us. One night, as I left a coffee shop, a black SUV trailed me for 3 blocks. My heart pounded as I ducked into a crowded bar, losing them in the chaos. The next day, Ethan's apartment was ransacked. We were running out of time. With the audit looming, we decided to go all in. Ethan leaked the evidence to Crestview's CEO, anonymously, while I contacted a reporter at a major financial news outlet. I knew Michael would try to spin the story, so we had to make it public, fast. The day of the audit, I watched from a cafe across the street as auditors swarmed Crestview's offices. My phone buzzed with a text from Ethan: "It's done. They're pulling Michael into a meeting now." Hours later, the news broke online: Crestview VP accused of embezzling millions. The article cited anonymous sources and included screenshots of the email we'd found. Social media exploded, with former employees sharing their own stories of Michael's shady behavior. Michael was arrested 2 days later, charged with fraud, embezzlement, and money laundering. Crestview's stock tanked, but the company survived, thanks to the swift action of the board. Ethan and I were hailed as whistleblowers, though I insisted on staying anonymous. I didn't want fame, I just wanted justice. The company offered me my job back, along with a hefty settlement, but I declined. I'd seen behind the curtain, and I couldn't unsee it. Instead, I started consulting for small businesses, helping them avoid the kind of corruption I'd uncovered. Ethan stayed at Crestview, promoted to a senior role, determined to rebuild trust in the company. Looking back, I still feel the sting of that day in the parking lot, my life packed into a cardboard box. But I also feel pride. They thought they could silence me, break me, make me disappear. Instead, I fought back, and won. Have you ever been wronged and fought back against the odds? Share your story in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life revenge stories that hit hard. Until next time, stay sharp, and never let anyone dim your light.